What's up? It's Dave Diggs and I'm live from the Barbers Inc. Barbershop, Southside San Jose. And as you guys already know from my last YouTube video, I just unboxed the Andis Supreme Cordless NVLI. Thanks again to the Andis family for blessing me with this Christmas gift. But first things first, I need to zero gap it. I don't save clippers, special edition, limited this, limited that. I really love them, but I use them. If I buy something, I want to put it to use. That being said, this Supreme clipper is gonna go to work. It's gonna cut a bunch of heads, but first I gotta zero gap it. Multi screwdriver set is mandatory when you need to work on your clippers. Everybody that owns a set of clippers should definitely have a multi screwdriver set. One thing that's cool about this one, not all clippers or all tools come with them. But some clippers and tools now, you need a star bit. So one thing that's cool about this multi-set that I have is I have star bits. But you won't need it to zero gap this Supreme NVLI. I just need, right here, is a Phillips head to loosen the top two screws on this cordless NVLI Supreme Edition. When I find and locate the proper Phillips bit, I'm gonna take it and lightly unlock the top two screws. I don't wanna loosen the screws to where they're falling out or where the top blade is too loose. I wanna unloosen it just enough where the top blade moves. Next, take your fading lever, close it all the way. Now I gap most all of my blades. So now that the two top screws are loose, I'm gonna eye gap and set the distance between the bottom cutter and the top blade. Here's the deal. You're gonna have your top blade and your bottom cutter that does this. Out of the box, and this is on purpose, the clippers are not very aggressive. Andis doesn't want you leaving your clients with red marks or cutting little kids. But professional barbers that have experienced zero gapping clippers will shorten this distance between the cutter and the top blade. You never, ever, ever want the cutter and the blade perfectly even. If it's perfectly even, you'll cut your client and leave red marks. You never want the cutter above the top blade. If you do that, you're gonna tattoo your clients. You might as well be a tattoo artist and not a barber. But you want the bottom cutter slightly below the top blade. As close as possible, but still with just enough room to see a paper thin gap between the top blade and the bottom cutter. And now once I get that perfect setting, what I do is I take my left hand and I pinch the top blade to limit movement. And I'm not gonna wrench the screw all the way down. I'm gonna turn it slightly. Then I'm gonna go to the other side, turn it slightly. And I'm gonna go back and forth, turning slightly until the screws are all the way tight. If you take one screw and just wrench it, it's gonna twist the blade. Then you're gonna have one side sharp, one side off. Now, once the screws are tight, I check. There was no movement, the blade is set perfect. A couple checks before I use these clippers on a client. First, I'm gonna take and I'm gonna cut some hair on my wrist. These are cutting really, really close and sharp. Second check, take my fingernail and pull it over the blade. If my fingernail does not catch at all, the blade is too close. And as you guys see, my fingernail is catching slightly. The third and final check, with the blade closed, take it, invert your blade, and cut upside down on your wrist. Give it about a minute or two. This is a very tender part of your skin. It simulates the tender area of your neck. If red marks show on your wrist, then immediately you know red marks are gonna show on your client. So So you might have to readjust this blade if red marks do show on your wrist. That's how I zero gap my blades, with my eye, very carefully, and then I run through my checks afterwards. I can't wait to put this Supreme to use, man. Tune in to my next video. Dave Diggs, signing out on YouTube.